Hey guys, so hopefully today I can do my hair cutting tutorial video thingy just to show you guys what I'm doing. I have been doing a lot of research and stuff. It's been a long time since I've cut my own hair, and generally I don't do the thinning or the layers. A lot of times my usual hair cutting would be taking scissors and going strand by strand and cutting off the dead ends as little as possible. So today I'm actually going to do like a full cutting, but what I want to show you, and I'm using a new program to record this video, so I have no idea how well or not well this is going to work, but basically I'm going to try to use the professional tips that I've seen in multiple videos, but there's this girl on YouTube who has this really specific like hairstyle that mine would look like if it was as long as hers. And her hair looks really nice, and she actually shows herself doing it. And I can link her video below for sure. I'm going to try to have it in the screen so that you guys can see me following her. I'll let you know what I find easy, what I don't, whether or not it works the same way she has it for my shorter and definitely thinner hair. I mean, I have thick hair, but she outdoes me by a mile, I'm here to tell you. So, see how this goes. I've also never had a window in my video before, so I'm going to see what I can do here and just get her to start from the beginning.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I get my layered haircut at home. I get a lot of questions about my haircut, and I do cut it myself, and I love it because there's so many layers, and best of all, I get to keep my length, so I get to keep my long hair. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more videos like this one. And I don't go to the salon anymore. I cut my own hair because I actually really love the way my hair comes out when I cut it, and the salon just never got it right. And if you're interested, then keep on watching. Now, the first thing I want to do.
I have to really agree with her. While I do occasionally go to the salon when my hair gets ridiculous and outlandish, they don't ever do it exactly right. And they seem to insist that if you go in for anything that involves scissors that you want at least 2 inches off, and I really don't. The whole purpose of me growing my hair out is to grow my hair out, not to grow it a bit and then cut off all the progress I've made. So, it's really frustrating for someone like me who is really, really trying to grow her hair out and just cannot get the salons to understand that I just want it thinned, I just want my layers kept up, and that's it. I don't need it shorter, I don't need it styled any differently than I have it, because especially like if you look right here on my bangs, do you see how they're not at my chin? This is from growth. This is from 3 months of growth because the girl at the salon cut it to just under my glasses. And any of you who wear glasses out there, you know how irritating it is to have your hair up here. Now, she cut my hair wet, so it was here when it was wet. It was here when it was dry. In my eyes, in my contacts, in my makeup, which was really hard to get out, and then it would get it was a hot mess. And I told her that I needed to be able to put all of the hair behind my ear, because at least that way I know it's long enough not to get into my glasses. She did not listen to me. So I was pretty miffed. Don't get me wrong, I still gave her a good tip because she's doing her job, and it's not like I'm going to a $100,000 salon. I'm pretty sure it was somewhere between like a fantastic hair and a great clips, or famous hair and great clips, or whatever it was. I don't know. It had a different name, but pretty much the same feel. living in the middle of BFE, you can't expect to have, you know, diamond quality stuff in the middle of a bog. You can't. So, one of the things that she says, as you see, because I have subtitles on, is she wants to straighten her hair. That's all well and good. I don't have a straightener. So I am on day 7 of no hot water. This is my happy face. Once I get my hair trimmed after this video, I am going to go stick my head under the faucet, get as close to warm, cold water as I can get, probably something in the realm of drinking water, and I'm going to wash my hair. But this is about as straight as it's going to get for me right now, and I do have a spray bottle of water in the event that I need to straighten like this bit here, which is kind of kinking on me a little bit, in case I need it. But I think for the purposes of this will have to it'll have to do.
Is straighten all my hair, and as you can see right now, my hair looks really ratchet and it needs some serious cutting. So I'm using a hair straightener here that has like a brush attached to it, and it makes it so much easier, guys. It's just, you can brush and straighten your hair at the same time. Everything is just quicker, and I will leave this linked down below for you guys if you're interested. Next, I'm going to part my hair down the middle. Now I'm going to take from the middle of my scalp to down to my ears, where my ears start, and I'm going to separate the hair in the front. Now this is
Okay. There's 2 schools of thought on this one. So you can either do the front of your ear, the back of your ear, or the professional version is to find what's called the apex. Now I put a comb on my head and it is flat. The place where the comb is highest is your apex. So on my fat old noggin, it's right here, and that falls right about behind my ears. Now on me, there's not going to be a whole lot to do on this front part because my front bangs are already very short for me as it is. It's about as short as I want to get. So I will probably just do a dusting of any ends that need to be clipped and maybe do a thinning on them, but that's it. So for the purposes of her video, she's doing it from the front of her ear. So I'm going to do the same just to be able to follow along. I really, really should have put contacts in before I started doing this, but I digress. So now all I can see is a whole bunch of fuzzy colors because I am blind as a bat. Okay. So there's that, and there's that. Now there is a place in this video where I'm going to deviate from her a little bit because she only wants 3 layers in her hair and I would like a couple more than that. So her separation is going to be slightly different than mine. I keep dragging hair pieces back that I don't want. Okay. And it's getting caught on my earring. Okay, so as usual, guys, any tips or tricks that you want to leave in my comments, please do. And, ooh, wow, hot mess. Okay. I'm not a hot mess, I'm a spicy disaster. Here we go.
This is the hair that we're going to be working on first, and the rest of the hair I'm just going to tie it in the back so that it's out of my way and out of my face. So these are the layers that are going to be framing our face. That's why we're going to work on it first. And the first thing I'm going to do is create a guide. This is going to be the guide that we're going to be using to cut the rest of our hair. So I'm going to separate a little bit of hair from the top and take it all the way up and hold it tightly, and then we're going to start cutting. Now we're going to cut in a straight line, and I know that looks like a lot of hair, that looks kind of scary, but point cut upwards, and I promise you it's going to turn out so.
Okay, so with me, like I said, I already have the shortness that I want, which is showing up there, but not there. So her technique is to take this section. I'm basically going like over my eyebrow, like where my eyebrow crests, point of my eyebrow, and then point of my eyebrow, just for reference of where I'm pulling from, just to get the front part. Okay, so she says that this section should be where you're going to start from. Now, as you can see, unlike her, I've pulled this whole part forward. Okay, now it's just because I want to see the difference of what I'm working with, and this is a lot easier to see on yourself than it is on my camera, but I can tell you that this is not even. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this back in half, okay, and then I'm going to take this bit off, but I'm going to pull it off to the side and add an angle here, okay, and I'm trying to get this to fan out as much as I can so it's not quite so chunky as you see there. Okay, and then I'm going to actually take it off at an angle. So point cut like she said, but I'm going to take it off just a smidge it below, okay, just to get that section the same length, and then just kind of, I got some hair sticking out, sorry y'all, okay, just kind of point cut the tips, the very tips for me, because like I said, this length is already good for me, it's where I want it, so right now I'm literally just dusting my ends, and why I call it dusting is because that's all you're going to find on the floor. There's not going to be a huge big chunk of this area. It's literally going to be just dust. Okay? Now, the difference between the girl on the video and me is that now her front pieces are all going to be the same length and mine are not. Okay? Because I have slightly more complex layering than she does, and I do that because I can't manage my hair if I don't. So you're going to need to take a look at this side by side and go, okay, is it matching up? Now I can tell you that my original line does match up, and I'm going to pull it out to the diagonal out like this, okay? And again, you don't want your section to be chunky. You really don't. If it's chunky, it's not going to cut straight, and you're going to end up with one of those OMFG videos of hair of, good God, what did that girl do? So again, add an angle, cut the long bits off that don't match for the section, okay, and then you're going to just dust the ends of the ones that were already the right length, just to get, because if you leave the blunt cut this way, and it's like she said, if you leave it that way, it's going to look super chunky, and this way it makes your lines look softer and a little bit more natural, but this is also how you can point cut the ends of the section that is maybe already the same length, and you're just getting dead stuff off. And it totally looks like I'm not doing anything, but you really are. So just point cut, and even that length out a smidge there. Okay. And then of course you want to take what you've done, pull it out and compare it. Okay. Works for me. Let's proceed.
So pretty. And we're going to be using this guide now to cut the rest of the hair. So take a little bit of that and then mix it in with one side of the hair, and I'm going to take that side of the hair and bring it up and diagonal. We're not going to bring it all the way up, we're going to make it like a little bit of a diagonal, and I'm going to use my comb so that everything is straight, and you're going to see the guide sticking out right there. So we're going to be cutting the hair according to the guide. So cut where your guide is and point cut upwards. I know that looks like a lot of hair, but I
Okay, again, because my layers are different than hers, I'm modifying this part. So I'm not pulling it up and out that way. I'm pulling it out diagonal this way. And again, doing a diagonal cut upwards to be able to keep the line of my layers going. Okay. Now, you don't want this to match too much up with the other. You want it to flow seamlessly in a line, yes. But you don't want it to match up too much with the other, because otherwise you're going to look like you have a mullet, which is, I mean, the whole business in the front, party in the back thing really is not a thing. Like, I don't care who your friends are. I mean, you could know Joe Dirt personally, and I'm still here to tell you it's not a thing. So, same on the other side. Okay, comb it out as flat as you can. I gotta take my boyfriend's ring off. Hold on. Sorry, baby, if you're watching. I never take it off, but I can't get a good pinch grip on this. There. So, out, and again, a diagonal cut on the long bits. And you don't have to do this number where you're starting at the very back of the scissors and just no. Try using the tips of your scissors and just taking off, you know, small bitty sections, micro sections at a time. You will be much, much happier with the result, because you'll have that much more control over what is getting shorter and how fast. So again, you want to take what you've done, pull it out, make sure it looks relatively even on both sides. Okay. Now, at this point, she's going to be taking her sections out, which is where I'm going to join her. Okay. I'm taking this bit, okay, the back portion that I just cut, and I'm going to take it back. Now, I'm sure that professionals like Brad Mondo and Guy Tang are going, no, 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 honey, you have to take that part of your hair and it has to be out over your shoulders. Yes, I understand that, and that's what I'm doing. So please don't panic yet, boys. This will work out. It may not be your method, but you guys, of all people, should realize that just because you're different doesn't make you wrong. So I'm just going to pin my bangs up out of my way because I kind of need to be able to see. So, take my hair down. Okay, so she is doing a big section here. I don't want to do that because while I want layers going all the way through, I want them to be somewhat less chunky than the ones that she's working, which is cool. You know, and especially with her super thick hair, she really doesn't need a lot of layers because the way her hair falls and probably the way she styles it is going to work just fine for her. For me, it's easier if I have layers going all the way through because of the way that I have to style my hair. I'm constantly throwing it up. I'm constantly having it down. You know, I don't keep it just one way. I've got 3 little kids that I gotta chase after. Every once in a while that requires a ponytail, a bun, and, you know, especially with it getting hot and muggy now, being in the land of rain, thunderstorms, fog, and then a little sun. So as you can see, my hair is not even right now. There is not even growth from one side to the other. Okay. The reason for this is because the girl that did my hair at the salon, she asked me which way I part my hair, which at a salon, that's exactly what you should do, is ask your client which way they part their hair. And I told her. So she cut my hair according to my part. Now, I told her the part that I came in with. Problem is, I part my hair left, right, just off center, either side. I never do it down the center, but the way that I did this section here will maintain my ability to swap up my part without it causing any issues, which is why I didn't want to go any shorter than what I already had, because what I do with my hair depends on, or what part I have in my hair depends on what I do with my hair. Sometimes I will French braid it all the way around and have like a little coronet. Sometimes I'll just braid it straight down. Sometimes it'll be half, full, bun, down. I do so many different things with my hair, it's not even funny. So now we've caught up with her, okay, and her instruction was to comb it up diagonal. I'm trying to do this in a way that you guys can see it. And of course my camera's still backwards, I'm sorry. So, and she says to find your guide. Okay, well my guide is clear up here, and I'm not wanting to cut that much. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go up at a diagonal like she's saying. Okay, and I'm gonna find the end of my hair when it just starts to pop off the comb. Okay, so see that, there, see that? See if I can get that to poof up. Okay, you don't want all that nasty unevenness. So, let me see if I can get on the floor so you guys can see this, because I think my camera placement, well, my camera in general just sucks, but I also have super long hair. So, I'm combing upward at an angle, and it's about 45 degrees, so not straight up, not straight side, but halfway between the two. See how the hair just kind of came and fell this way? So that's how much I'm going to take. It's not a lot, but it's just enough to trim my hair and keep my my length, you know. So it's going to take the dead ends off. And even though you're point cutting, you still want this to be straight across. You don't want to go up or down like we did on the bangs. You still want it to be straight across. Okay? I thought that was a better idea, and it's not. Okay. So just kind of clean it up. I need to go straight across to do my initial cut so I can get the ends off. And I'm here to tell you, point cutting while doing calisthenics, like holding this up, is really hard. So I'm going to bring my camera back down so that way I can point cut without having to hold my arm over my head. Okay, and also something I've noticed is if you have your thumb all the way through the thing like this, you have almost no control. It's no fun. So try to keep your thumb from getting locked in there, because otherwise your dexterity just goes to hell. Now these are actual hair cutting scissors. They came in the box with my OMG, what are they called? Clippers. My electric clippers. Because like I said, I cut my grandfather's hair, I cut my son's hair, I trim my boyfriend's beard, and I do his hair when I get to see him. Okay, so here's what we're working with so far from front to back. Now, I am seeing this bit back here, which means I missed something. Okay, so we're going to do up and diagonal again, straight out. There it is. Because I was trying to do this upright instead of pinching like I should, and it's how she shows you to do it in the video. Here, watch.
I promise it's going to turn out really pretty. And see, as you can see right there, you actually really do get to keep your length, and your layers just come out really feathered and beautiful and blended. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Brush the hairs up and diagonal, and you're going to see your guide right there sticking out. That's where you're going to cut. and we're gonna cut off all of that dead hair and recreate our layers. So point cut upwards. The reason why we're point cutting is because it just helps the layers to blend more easily, and it doesn't give you that choppy blunt look. So as you can see here, everything just came out really even, and we're going to start working on the rest of our hair. I'm going to part it down the middle and bring it to the front, and I'm going to be working on one side at a time. The side that I'm not working on, I'm going to tie it just to keep it out of my way. And I'm going to...
Okay, so like you guys just saw, that was all her doing the same layer length on her front hair. And I have slightly more complex layering in the front. So she just did one layer, and I am not. Okay, so then out again. And catch. And point. Man, my thumb is stuck. Okay. Trying to collect the hair that I'm cutting off while I do it, so that way I don't have to try to drag the vacuum clear back here, because it's hard to get shit back here. So like I showed you, okay, that's a dusting. That's just the ends that came off. Overall, everything that I've cut so far, that's all that I've cut off, that right there. So it really does allow you to keep your length. And what she says, you know, and my layers are just more complex and a little more feathered than her. This right here looks janky, and it's supposed to, because it's not the whole thing. So okay, so she said to, I don't think my chair goes any lower than that, sorry guys. Part your hair down the middle. Okay, so I'm going to take my two-ended comb, that side down, or a wide tooth down, however you want to say it. Separate down the middle. Okay, she said tie up the side that you're not doing first. So we'll tie up this side. Oh, crikey. It is muggy today. Mostly because we had like a boatload of thunderstorms, and then it got really, really warm. So now it feels like a rainforest. Yay, team. I know, so stylish. Okay.
Gonna work on this side. Now I'm gonna take a chunk of my hair and mix it in with the guide, and then I'm gonna brush that up and diagonal, and we're gonna start cutting. Now we're gonna cut this a little bit differently. So do you see the guide right there? We're gonna cut an inch lower than that guide because we're creating our second layer. So cut 1 inch lower than your guide, and cut all that dead hair off. Like, that hair looks really dead. And point cut upwards. Remember to do that so your layers are nice and blended. Now we just created our second layer, and you can see right there, everything just blended in really nicely. And then taking some of the hair that I just cut, I'm going to take the rest of the hair and brush that up, and make sure you brush the back up too, just so there's no knots or chunks that are going to be uneven. Now the second guide that we created, you can see that it's sticking out right there. We're going to cut 1 inch lower than our second guide and point cut that upwards, and that's going to be our last layer. That's going to be our third layer, and we're done with one side basically. So now we're going to do the same thing to the...
Okay, so again, if you don't have complex layers like me, by all means, follow what she's doing. But I don't have a second guide because all of my layers are blending. So I just have to go in, cut off my dead ends, but I'm following the same basic method she is, okay? So here's what we have. Okay, so I'm going to give it an inch from here. This is the shortest hair I have. So I'm going to go about here. Okay, and I can see a couple of dead ends on this lower level, so I'm just going to stick with that line. Whoop, dead hair. Okay, and then, okay, so now I'm just going to point cut from here. And I have a lot of dead ends because I am very mean to my hair, and I dye it all the time. And I do mean like all the time. Point, 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 point. Unfortunately, I have super thick hair, so point cutting takes a little while. And I'm sure brand motto fans everywhere are cringing in their high fashion suits because this is not the way that they would do it. So I'm sorry in advance for any strokes anyone's having. But this isn't at home. I am not a professional. And it's not like any professionals are putting out a way to do layers on themselves. And that's the problem that I'm having with a lot of the videos is, you know, everybody's like, oh, here, let me do it on somebody else. Let me do it on a client. Let me do it on my daughter. Let me do it on a mannequin. Well, you know, that's cute and everything, but not all of us have people. Some of us are still under quarantine, and the people we live with are too young to wield scissors or uncomfortable doing it and refuse to help. So I need to know how to do this on me, not on somebody else. So, second side. Now, as you can see, we did take some length off. It's not a lot, okay? And I still technically have the length at the bottom. It's just going to be feathered, okay? As soon as I can figure out how to put my own hair up. That's what I get for trying to do this in a camera instead of in a mirror. Highly recommend having a mirror, by the way. If you're trying to do this just blind, you are going to have some fun. Okay. Alright. And up. Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle. This is a lot of hair. Okay. So, am I there? Almost. Okay, there. So, we're going to take the dead ends off about an inch above the last one, and I let my first level fall out of the comb this time. I figured it'd be a little easier. And just for ease of point cutting, I'm going to fan this a bit so that way it's easier to get the scissors through because, yeah, last time it was a butt. Or a pain in the butt, sorry. My brain's going faster than my mouth. Happens to me a lot. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. Phew. So like I said, since I've never cut my own layers, and it's been years, really, since I've styled my hair. I mean, I've cut it, but I haven't styled it in a while. So I figure I should try the results of someone who's been doing it for a while. But holy smokes, I'm telling you guys, like, my hair is crispy. It's bad. Like, just holding it in my hands, it feels like the straw that you put down for an animal to sleep on. Like, really crispy. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to put a link to her video in my description, so that way you guys can see it and you can watch the rest of it if you want to. But what we're doing now, I have thinning shears, and my hair is super, super thick. My girlfriend who's done my hair before says that when she was cutting my bangs, she's like, that's her whole ponytail when she put them together. I have a crap ton of hair, and especially with it getting muggy, it's getting really hard to maintain. Now, the thing about doing this is, one, I've never done it before. So I'm not entirely sure how it's going to turn out. Two, I've never used thinning shears on myself. I've used them on other people. I know how they work, but, you know, theory and execution are not always friendly. So the last girl that did my hair, she actually twisted my hair like this and then used the thinning shears on them in the direction of the twist. So my hair, they're closed, don't freak out, my hair is spinning downward at an angle. So she would take the shears and do this against my twist, and that's how she thinned my hair. Now, I can tell you a couple of things about thinning shears. One, they are not meant to cut hair on a level, okay? That is what actual shears are for, okay? These are only meant to cut where the blades connect. Even closed, okay, you can see there's gaps. Your hair will be in those gaps. Any hair in those gaps is not getting cut, okay? Secondly, if you've never used thinning shears before, don't. If you've used them on other people and you know the general mechanics, it should be okay for you, but I wouldn't get too frisky with them. And thirdly, you know, don't ever thin this way, horizontal. You shouldn't, because all it's going to do is right there. If you want it to look a little bit more natural and a little less jagged, do it at an angle. So I'm just going to, let's see, make sure, down, okay, snip, and then come around, snip, and come around, snip, and come around, snip. Okay, now the reason I'm doing that all the way down, okay, some of it will be long, some of it will be super small, but it also helps it come out. So, and it helps me get a more even distribution of thinning. Okay. So that actually feels pretty good. That's all that came out from that whole experiment right there. Okay. Now, I can feel that in the back I still need some thinning. So I'm going to take my half section and half it, and I'm going to do the same thing again on the back section. Now, please take note that when I am doing this, I am not starting up here, because I'm not trying to be bald. Okay, so just, you can even loosely do it, and then so snip and snip and snip. Okay, now I'm not pushing hard on this because I don't want to take too much, because if I take too much I can't put it back. I don't have any hair glue that's going to make it go back on. Okay. Oh, this is going to be so itchy forever. I can't, I'm one of those people that can't handle hair touching her, and yet my hair sheds everywhere all the time. All the time. Okay, let's see. I think one more should be fine. So again, I'm going to take, now if you notice I've got my front layers in here. If you don't want hair any shorter than that, don't cut above them. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to actually just twist up the part that I'm not going to cut. Okay, and here's my back layer. My front layers are up here. Okay, because I've got them twisted up. Okay, so for me, the easiest way to do this would be to come, doing this in the camera again, here, and I'm not even closing the scissors all the way. Oh, come on, out the front, there we go. I will figure out this whole mirror thing in a minute. Okay. Now, keeping it twisted, I'm going to go ahead and comb this out so you can see it. Okay, so that's all the hair that's coming out of this. Okay? And that's what you need to understand. Like, if you were to do that with an actual scissor, I would have chin-length hair right now. Okay? Thinning shears are not meant to cut a level. They are meant to thin. That is why they are called thinning shears. Okay? How much? Okay, let's loosen this up. Yes, that is much better. Now, I don't know if there's like a scientific or cosmetological version of what I just did, but I just do it until it feels light enough. Okay? So, now, I'm going to take out this side. And again, my thinning is not going to be, you know, exact because I'm doing it based on how it feels. So I can't tell you I'm taking off 2 inches, I'm taking off 3 inches. And one side may not be as thick as the other because, you know, people's hair, it doesn't grow even. You know, it doesn't grow at the same rate all the time. You've got certain sections that grow this much and then certain sections that grow this much. If you need a real life example, go take a look at somebody's yard. Somebody who's got different levels of or different kinds of grass in their yard. Some of it, like the stuff underneath above our septic tank, that stuff grows like mad. Dark green, really lush, really thick all the time, grows like a weed. Other parts, like the crabgrass, not growing so fast. So, and I recommend keeping your hair as combed out as you can throughout this whole process, just because otherwise it's a pain in the butt. Okay, so I think that I liked the twist it at the top and then come down the loose bits technique the best, because I was a little intimidated by having it completely wrapped up. Oh, I can hear my children. Well, 2 of them. They're awake now. Again, I'm doing this in the camera. Sorry, guys. Snip, snip, snip. And I just did a faux pas that I told you not to do, which is cut straight across because I wasn't thinking. Okay, and then just comb the detached bits. Okay. But that's a lot of dead hair. And you just comb out whatever you trim. And it just comes right out. Okay, again, I think my back needs it, so I'm going to quarter my half and just do the back. And again, because my hair gets super tatty because it's so dry, so I have to comb out before I do anything every section because otherwise it's just going to be knots. So, okay, here's the back. 1, 2, and the front. 1. And again, I'm not doing this very well because I'm directionally challenged apparently, but I'm trying to alter them. So one here, and then one here, one here. I'm not trying to have them each side directly across from the other because I might as well just cut it off at that line. Okay. Alright, and then I think one more should do fine. And turn. Okay. Alright, so we're up at an angle here. And I'm actually going to go in the middle this time because it's a lot of hair. And around the front. I'm going to cut my own hand off. That's not good. Okay. And then comb it out. Wow, even before I take it down, I can feel it's much better. Okay. So, okay. There's that. Okay. So, let's get this pointed back up now. Whoop, too far. Okay. Take this side down. Hokey smokes, Bullwinkle, it's hot. Like muggy hot. Okay. So, now I gotta put my chair back up. Okay. So, there's that. Okay. The layers are still length. They're about even. And again, this is an at-home, so try not to judge too hard, YouTube, if it's at all possible. Okay. So I could part it this way. See how it still goes down, like, hang on, like this. Okay. Now I could part it the other way. Oh, this is the other way. Sorry, it looks weird to me in the camera again. Okay, and where's the front bit? There we go. See how it goes down? Okay, so I can wear them either way. And not that I really ever wear my hair parted down the middle, but obviously since I cut down the middle, I could wear it down the middle. But I really don't like it because I think it makes me look horrible. I prefer a side part. And I actually take my side part and I go up to the center and then back. Because that way it gives me the freedom to kind of toss my hair around a little bit if I want to. Now obviously my hair does not currently look very good because the ends are still crispy a bit from over processing my hair when I took it from Kool-Aid red to blonde, and then I toned it down with this brown because I couldn't take the orange anymore. And my hair has natural red base to it anyway. I was like a strawberry blonde naturally. Not that you can tell from my roots anymore, but I have a lot of red in my base, so it was inevitable to turn orange. I was just kind of hoping that using the right products I could get it up to you know, like a 1, maybe a 2, but I was at like 3 or 4 maybe. Really, really bright fluorescent orange. I could have put highlighters out of business. But this is the crispy ball of hair that is no longer attached to my head now. Yay team. If you have any questions about maybe doing a guy's hair or beard trimming, let me know in the comments below. Please, as always, like, subscribe, alert, and toodles.